Lots of storm damage in West Michigan today after a night of severe storms. We're live at several locations across the area showing you the damage. The storm knocking out power to thousands across our area. How long they could be waiting to get the lights back on. And a woman whose home was damaged by a tornado last year will now have to rebuild for a second time. News Channel 3 Live at noon starts right now.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3, live at noon.
It is a cleanup day across West Michigan. There's lots of damage from severe storms that moved through overnight. This is what it looked like in Kalamazoo when the storm moved through. You can see heavy rain and lightning across the sky. And this is what many in West Michigan woke up to: a vast amount of damage done to homes, businesses, and power lines. Multiple trees falling on homes, causing scenes reminiscent of the tornadoes in Michigan 1 year ago. Right now, crews are working to remove dangerous hazards and restore power to thousands of people. Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at noon. It's not clear yet if tornadoes caused the damage this time. The National Weather Service will send teams out to investigate. Right now, more than 187,000 Consumers Energy customers are without power. There are nearly 400 Consumers crews working to bring the lights back on. A Consumers spokesperson telling us this morning some people not expected to get power back on until the weekend. And Kalamazoo County hit especially hard, with about 40% of the county losing power. We start our team coverage in the Oakland neighborhood with Autumn Pitcher. Autumn, what is the damage like there?
Yes, Kirk, we've been driving around all morning long, and we've noticed a lot of down power lines in the area. We're on Springmont Avenue, just off Oakland Drive, and take a look at this. You can see one of those down power lines behind me here, really crossing across the street and blocking it off. We've seen many cars come down the street, and they've had to turn around. And you can see the branches, too, that fell on top of the power line, and a lot of neighbors have been coming together to help clean up the debris and chop up those limbs. And most people we have spoke to in the area today tell us that they've actually lost power. But I really want to draw your attention to this home over here, because it's the hardest hit that we've seen in the area so far. A tree came crashing down on top of this home. You can see it split through the roof there. And we spoke to the neighbor, the resident that was actually inside, and felt the impact shake the whole house.
He and my dad live here, and they didn't really have any time to react. Just all of a sudden, the tree hit the roof and scared the dog. And my brother got out of the upstairs, but he said, really, he feels pretty lucky.
Rob tells us that the rain started pouring down inside the home, and he says that they had to take cover in the basement. But thankfully, we know that everyone was okay and there was no injuries. Now, we will be keeping a close eye on things today, monitoring this storm damage, and be sure to bring you the latest. For now, I'm live in Kalamazoo. Autumn Pitcher, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Autumn. And the damage stretching across much of Kalamazoo County, from where Autumn is to another hard-hit spot further east in Galesburg. News Channel 3's Tiana Barnes live from Galesburg, speaking to two neighbors who had their property destroyed by fallen trees. Tiana.
Yeah, Kirk, Galesburg resident of over 40 years, Dave Carpenter, lives in the home behind me. As you can see, there's trees covering it. He told me that he was getting ready for bed late last night around 11 p.m. when all of a sudden he felt his home begin to shake. And when he looked out his window, he was not prepared for what he saw. He says he saw sparks flying as winds reaching almost 80 miles per hour ripped power lines down to the street. Neighbors brought him coffee this morning as he assessed the damage done overnight. Carpenter says he's just thankful to be alive as the tree slammed onto the roof of his home. Just listen as he describes the moment. A peaceful night turned horrifying.
The transformers along the street, they kept exploding, not just once, but they just kept going bam, bam, and there's sparks, and the power line in front of my house was on fire, and I saw the whole neighborhood was decimated. And I was shocked. I thought, wow, I'm still shocked.
A similar scene next door at his neighbor Don Baldwin's house. Not only did the trees crash all over the top of his home, but his vehicle was smashed by downed trees as well. And as you can probably hear from the chainsaws and equipment in the background here, Carpenter and his neighbors are just starting to begin cleanups and taking the necessary steps to salvage what they can. They say they're shaken up, but glad they weren't physically injured after this storm. Live in Galesburg, Tiana Barnes, News Channel 3.
This was the damage it did to my house. Other houses are even worse than that. She's got some windows busted too. All the skirting is gone.
Broken windows on homes and vehicles, skirting, siding, and shingles ripped off. Neighbors at Gales Valley Estates in Galesburg are assessing damage by what was a quick but powerful storm.
I've never heard a sound like that before, but I reckon it was the tree that had hit her house. And then right after that, I heard the shattering of glass, and I got up and I checked on my little dog, so it's just my wife and I. And my wife says, "What was that?" And then we opened up the front door and we seen that there was all this debris.
As heard on the news, there could be severe weather in the Galesburg area, but he and his wife went to bed before it hit, hoping the storm would pass without trouble, but that clearly did not happen.
And it woke me up. It sounded like a cannon going off. And it was so loud, it shook the house. And then when the windows busted, I said, I thought someone was breaking in. Then I realized that it was this storm that they were saying. I didn't think it would be this bad, but it was.
Gonzalez says now it's time to make calls to insurance and to help neighbors pick up the pieces. Just hours after those powerful storms, a totally different scene right now. It's gorgeous, sunshine and warm, but meteorologist Jeff Porter keeping an eye on our next chance for storms. Jeff.
Kirk, good afternoon. Really just a few hours away, and right now many of us in cleanup mode, and the weather supporting that. Give you a live look right here in Vicksburg from the water tower. Right now it is 77 degrees in the sun. Let's show you some additional damage photos coming into our chime-in galleries. Liz Round showing us branches on power lines in Paw Paw. We move you from Paw Paw to Kalamazoo. This is Duke Street. This is a massive tree brought to you by Kara B. We're going to show you the second part of this in our main weathercast. That's just the root structure. All right, so you heard Tiana reference nearly 80-mile-per-hour winds. The 76-mile-per-hour gust in Springfield was measured before the sensor stopped working. So there's a thought that the winds could even have been as stronger than that. Benton Heights, 72. Norton Shores, 72. These are miles per hour, some peak winds here. Our risk for severe weather tonight, 5% damaging wind gusts, large hail, roughly a window of 8 p.m. through about midnight, so a 4-hour window. As far as the rest of your afternoon goes, and for cleanup efforts, lower and middle 80s and a lot of sun. It will be breezy. Let's check in with hour by hour. Watch the storm start to increase here by 10 p.m. Right now, Kalamazoo reporting 77. Southerly winds 17 miles per hour. No humidity today. That's the big difference. It's already 80 degrees right now in Holland. How much colder it will be over the weekend when you could see a little bit of rain over the weekend? Kirk will do that in under 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Damage from the storm also bad in Allegan County, where people camping face dangerous winds. News Channel 3's Tyler Brummett live in Martin with a look at the damage. Tyler.
Kirk, good afternoon to you. We are at Schnabel Lake Family Campgrounds. I want to show you just some of the damage here. Take a look. It's like a war zone here. You can see this camper. And if you look up there, you can see the wheels. Obviously just incredible here. And I want to walk over a little bit this way. Take a look at this. This is actually a window that was opened. There was a family inside here. The owner of the campground tells me that the family actually had to escape through this window. And just a few moments ago, I actually had a gentleman walk over. Dennis, if you want to come in here, Dennis Clark was in this camper when this all happened. First of all, Mr. Clark, I'm so happy you're okay. Just kind of take me through what you experienced last night.
Well, it was, we had a storm coming. We knew there was a storm coming, right? And we checked the weather, and it didn't look that bad. So we crawled in. I crawled into bed, and my wife was sitting on the couch with my daughter, and my granddaughter was in bed, and it hit. And it flipped us over, and everybody's okay. Got a little beat up, but works fine. It's just not going to replace it right now. That's all there is to it.
Well, and you mentioned too, everyone was okay. The common theme I've heard while talking with people out here is that stuff can be replaced. People can't.
It can be replaced. That's for sure. And we're probably looking to getting another one here in the next couple weeks, you know, but right now I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, and I know you were saying your family was in there as well. Kind of just tell me those moments. I'm sure it was tense, but then once it was over, kind of, you know, now you're in cleanup mode, right?
Yeah. Whole thing lasted about 10 seconds, and that was it. It picked the trailer up, threw it over the deck. When it got on this side of the deck, it dropped it, and it flipped over on its back on this side of the deck. So it floated through the air for a few seconds.
Yeah.
You could feel it.
Just incredible. I don't want to keep you too long because I know you've got more important things to do. Dennis, I really do appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much. So let me kind of just show you, and I'm going to walk this way. Bear with me. I know my back is to the camera, but I just want to come over here because this is just an incredible view. I know Ray is getting up here, our video journalist. Look, another camper right back there tipped over. And if we can come right over here, Ray, I'll kind of do like a 360 here. You can see back here, we've got a lot of branches. You can hear the sound of chainsaws. It's kind of just filling the air at this point, that sound of those chainsaws. And then right over here, a lot of items that I'm sure many of you at home have around your house. This is people's stuff. Again, in some cases, I'm sure people brought that stuff out of their campers. In some cases, it was obviously blown out. So again, we're going to stay here. We're going to get a look at the damage here at this campground as well as around Allegan County. And of course, we'll have much more tonight at 5 and 6. Kirk, I'll send it back to you.
Some amazing pictures from Martin this afternoon. A neighborhood just off Oakland Drive in Portage, hard hit by the storm, and it's an area that's had trouble before. A woman there experiencing damage to her house for a second time. Sandra Matthews' home was damaged in last year's tornado last May, and now it's happened again. Matthews says this time the damage is worse than last year. Her glass cabinet and collectibles are destroyed, ceiling cracked, and drywall falling to the floor. Matthews doesn't look forward to dealing with insurance adjusters again. They had just gotten done fixing her ceiling from last May's tornado in Portage.
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine doing this again. Should go to the casino and place a couple bets or something.
As West Michigan continues to clean up from another storm, we'll keep you updated with coverage both on air and on our website, WWMT.com. This is a look at a photo from Marjorie Harrington showing the damage around her home, including power lines severed by fallen trees. If you have any videos or photos of the storm or storm damage, you can send them to us through our Chime In gallery at WWMT.com. We're learning more information after 7 inmates held at the Kalamazoo County Jail were left in a hot transport van for more than 2 hours. What the mother of one of those inmates wants to happen.
Kirk, thank you very much. More of your storm damage photos, other side of the break. When it will rain next week. It is great to have you alongside. You're watching News Channel 3, live at noon.
Friday?
This is the only show that I'll watch.
Blake Shelton. And he's performing. Plus, Summer House's Kyle Cook and Lindsay Hubbard. Next, Kelly.
Today at 3 on News Channel 3.
Next, Dr. Phil. Mistresses and wives.